to you live from the Tesla charging station. I just wanted to give a little FTR update. There's a million things going on with Weston. The big kids are stable and, good. Their fathers are good and stable. My mother and their paternal grandparents have been very active during this period of adversity and difficulty. I never go more than a day or two without speaking to them 3 to, I don't even know, like 5, 6 times every day. Literally, there might be one day when like 1 out of 3 doesn't answer, or like my youngest has dance class and I don't get to speak to her. But otherwise, thank God for technology, because I still get to see them every day, multiple times a day. And like, that's my primary identity, is being a mother. Now that I have Weston and he's being, trapped in the system, he's 15 months old, and there's so much I want to tell you guys. The judge that originally saw us said that he would be back with me within 2 weeks. And that was at his birth. It's 15 months later. I've complied with everything they've asked of me, and they've not made any progress, changes, or increases in visitation. I have custody. You have to have custody taken from you to not have custody, and that's a long process that the court is not even attempting right now. Right now, it's just, well, I can't tell you guys all the details of what they're doing, but the basic vibe is that they're accusing me of having a mental health illness. I've gone through all of the requirements and submitted doctor testimony, and we're just waiting now. So it's a waiting game for them to just either give him back or give some legal reason why they won't. And there is no legal reason. So I'm doing multiple different types of work, food delivery, private shopping. Still haven't given up on the PODs and passenger rides. Basically taking and creating any opportunity that I can. It's very busy to try to balance a full-time work schedule, and I need even more than full-time because I have 4 children, and a grandchild. But it's been very, very difficult to find balance with having to spend the first 6 hours of my day in a DCFS office. And I say 6 because it's a 2-hour commute, a 2-hour visit, and a 2-hour back to work. So I'm very grateful for the employment and income that I have right now that are, willing and able to work with that visitation schedule. It's very frustrating. As I said 1,000,001 times, there's never been anything wrong with me. And beginning in 2019, when the reality show came out, that is when the very first and only time I've ever been aware of any narratives, going on around my health in any way, shape, or form. So it's just super confusing, and it's scary. It's scary living in the United States of America, a free country with technological advances and tons of advocacy and support, they claim. And for so much time to go on where I'm documenting so thoroughly, and nothing that I've made claim to is difficult to prove. There's proof of every single one of the claims that I've made. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making the claim. Like, have you guys seen that show Dexter? Basically, Dexter is a guy he's like a vigilante. He lives in Miami, and his father found him at a baby age, infant age, and he was in a shipping container covered in his mother's own blood. And the cop that found him, his name is Harry, and he adopted Dexter. And when Dexter was a young boy, he quickly realized that Dexter likes to kill things. So Dexter starts killing animals, and his dad realizes that he's a psychopath and he's not going to ever be able to have a normal life. So in an effort to keep his son safe, he develops a moral and ethical code for living. And it's basically that it's okay for him to kill people as long as they're guilty of something heinous. So he wants him to give the police the first opportunity to like capture this person, whoever the bad guy is. And then after that, he's like all for Dexter killing him as long as he like stays within these guidelines. So long story short, Dexter is a Miami Metro blood splatter analysis, and he works for the police in Miami, and he like lays down these dead guys like it's literally his job, even though his job is to investigate and solve murders. He's actually a serial killer. So I don't even know, why did I start talking about Dexter, you guys? I have no idea. I totally lost the point that I was trying to make. I'm having a total brain fart. I don't even know. What the hell? Maybe I'll remember in a minute. I hate it when that happens. I have like a super good point to make, and then somehow, for some reason, I just can't complete the thought. Anyways, I don't know, but I am super grateful to be able to balance this time, and work full time, but I really need to get Weston out of this situation, and the corruption and collusion with regards to the way the case has been handled are so obvious and apparent, it's not even funny. So I don't know, I'm frustrated, but I'm continuing to put one foot in front of the other. The only child that I have immediate concern for right now, as I said, is Weston. The big kids are, safe and sound, and they have the ability to advocate for themselves. If they need something, they can call me and say, Mom, I need face wash, or Mom, I need $50, or Mom, I need this or that. And for the first time in 5 years, I'm able to send it to them, which is a phenomenal feeling, because I just can't describe, the feeling of not being able to provide. It's literally terrible. I do believe that there is a reason why I was asked not to disclose the details of the case. But the reality is I need money for a lawyer, and I'm not talking about a couple hundred. I'm talking about like 10 grand for someone who can go up against the DCFS. And I believe wholeheartedly that we have enough evidence to sue on the back end. So I will continue to give, just very basic surface level updates until the situation has been resolved, in an effort to raise money, support, advocacy, etc. There's a lawyer that will hear this and maybe help me, so I would just be super grateful for that day. In the meantime, I'm driving a Tesla, which I absolutely love. I hated it the first day. The regenerative braking, holy shit. I don't think I've ever felt a heart attack in my life, but if I did, that's probably as close to one as I could get. When the car just literally slams its own brakes, it's like, what the fuck? But other than that, now that I've been driving it for several days, I really, really like it. I actually love it. So that's going well. I'm about to start my real estate license. The exam can be taken as quickly or slowly as possible. So I'll review, and then, take the exam, which I'm super excited about. On top of that, I just keep on going. All of the weird stuff that I was reporting from 2019, 2020, 2021, the stuff that makes you feel like you're like a real live Roblox character, all that shit is continued. I hope that it will come to an end soon. Xavier's doing fine. His behavior has been very weird. At times antagonistic and baiting. At times he cross-dresses. At times he starts speaking like this. He's not gay. He's never been gay. It literally feels like someone like takes over his body and just makes him do weird stuff. I don't know what else to say about it. But I am, fully committed to making sure that he's okay. and not just throwing him into the street and saying he's crazy. Um, Dylan from the show Love After Lockup that I did with him as my partner. At the end of the day, the breakup was justified in his mind by simply saying, Heather is crazy and, I'm not going to put up with this. But that's not, that would be literally the exact same thing as having someone you love be diagnosed with some chronic, illness and being like, oh, fuck you, this is too much work, get out. And that's literally what happened. Oh, she's crazy, get out. Well, you don't put a crazy person into the street. That's number one. Number two, you don't put a sick person into a position to be taken advantage of, harmed, raped, etc., and so forth. You just don't do any of that. That's not what you do, as a decent human being. So, many people have said on and give a little bit of an update, and that is it. I hope you guys are all having a great day and a great go of it, and that the next time I come on here, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting in my mansion, woo.